Hello friends, it is December the 2nd, 2016. Things that I would like to get done today. Edit yesterday's vlog, which I really haven't had a chance to do yet, so these will probably be going up a day after I shoot them. Film the Arcana scenes that I didn't get a chance to film yesterday. Do some other filming so that maybe I can upload some videos on Pancakes 8408. Take Shadow for a WALK. Hey sweetie. Yeah, I'm talking to the camera again. I do that. And continue to work on the December project. But before I do any of that, I need breakfast and coffee. So for my birthday a couple of months ago, I got a new tripod, one of those tripods with the flexible legs so that you can like clip it to trees and that sort of thing, and I'm trying it out now, in case you couldn't tell from the weird tilty stuff that's happening. So, a little experimentation, we'll see how it goes. So because I have the morning off, I thought I would make my breakfast a little bit more elaborate than I normally do, and so I am going to show you how to make a German pancake, or a Dutch baby as it is alternatively called sometimes. This is a breakfast I normally make for my wife when we both actually have our mornings off together, but since it's just me, I'm gonna just make it for me. So your first step is to preheat your oven to 450 degrees, and at least the recipe that I use for this, you want to wait until the oven is fully heated before you proceed with anything else. So you can use that time to make coffee or wash the dishes that you should have washed last night but you didn't get a chance to, so now you have to do it today before you can make your German pancake, that sort of thing. Okay, so the next step is to take your pan, which is basically a pie pan, I think, or cake pan. It's a cake pan. Never mind. It's a cake pan. You take your cake pan once the oven is fully heated and you just put it in the oven and allow it to heat up. And again, this is the recipe that I use, not necessarily the ones that there's lots of recipes online that you can find, but this is just the one that I use. So while that's heating up, you're going to mix all your other ingredients together. Now, German pancake is basically a combination of a souffle and an omelet, and so your three main ingredients are eggs, flour, and milk. And the nice thing about the recipe that I use is that it's just really easy to adjust the serving size. Like when I make this for my wife and myself, I usually use 3 eggs, 3/4 of a cup of flour, and 3/4 of a cup of milk. You know, nice and easy to fix the sizes. This is just me. I'm going to adjust it to 2 eggs, half a cup of flour, half a cup of milk. Farm-raised eggs. Very nice. Go ahead and beat the eggs a little bit before we add the other ingredients, just because it makes it easier. And then we will add our half cup of flour. And our half cup of milk. And we'll mix those 3 ingredients together. A sip of coffee to feed my caffeine addiction. Try to make it as smooth as possible. Alright, once you have mixed all that together and you feel confident that it's pretty well mixed, you're going to add 2 more ingredients. Vanilla and cinnamon. How much of each? Enough. There's an actual measurement, but I usually just kind of make a guess. And of course, these are the 2 most expensive ingredients that I'm guessing on. My wife scolded me for that once, but I think I'm pretty careful. Alright, mix that in, and now you've got your batter. So your next step is to move the camera to the oven so you can actually see the oven. Your next step is to take butter, preferably real butter, but we actually don't have any real butter, so I'm going to use the fake stuff. Take your butter, you're going to put it into your hot pan, preferably without taking it out of the oven. Let it melt for a little bit. And again, how much butter? Enough. If you're using actual butter, you can actually measure it, and I usually use about 2 tablespoons, but for this, just enough. So then you're going to want to get in there and move it around so it actually coats the entire bottom of the pan. Butter is pretty much mostly melted. And take your batter, make sure the dog stays out of the kitchen. Pour your batter into the pan. Back in. Now the original recipe says you should keep it in there for 20 minutes, but I actually found that's a little bit too much time, so I keep it in for 15 minutes. And now you wait. And while you wait, you can wash the dishes that you just used, but I'm not going to do that. I'm instead going to work on editing my video. So, there you go. So yesterday I mentioned that my wife and I had scored some free tickets to see the Phantom of the Opera, and it was... yeah. Let me talk about this part of the show that was really, really good, and that's the technical aspect of the show. This set was absolutely effing amazing. It was You know what, screw it, I'm just gonna swear. It was fucking amazing. I'm gonna swear in these videos. Let's deal with it. Yeah, Phantom of the Opera has a lot of different settings that it has to utilize. Probably about 7 or 8 different sets that it needs, but this set was built in such a way that it was all basically one piece, and it would just kind of shift and open to reveal a new one, and then it would turn and open to reveal. It was really, like, it was kind of hard to wrap my mind around. It was like the TARDIS of sets. Like, all of these different locations existed in this one big thing that they had built that was way bigger on the inside than it looked on the outside. It was amazing to watch. Like, the technical aspects of the show were just phenomenal to watch. The performance itself was good. All the actors did a good job, and the music was very well performed. All in all, it was a well-performed production of Phantom. It was the first one I've ever seen outside of the Joel Schumacher movie. But still, I enjoyed the performance. The story itself, as I kind of expected, didn't really do a whole lot for me. The music is still Weber. It was still pretty bland. I actually noticed some things that I wasn't aware of before. There's 2 types of music in this musical. There's the actual musical songs that he wrote that are more pop-like, like Weber normally writes, but then there's also music for the operas that are being performed within the context of the musical, and those sound more operatic. They sound more classical. And it was interesting to kind of hear the difference between the two, but where it got weird is the first song that the character of Christine sings, Think of Me, is actually an aria from the opera that they're performing at the time, and she sings it to kind of prove herself, and that's her big break. But the thing is, Think of Me sounds more like a Weber pop song. It doesn't sound like the opera music that we've heard up until that point, so it was just a little bit jarring to hear basically this pop song being sung in the middle of this classical opera. It was just really kind of jarring. And the other thing that I noticed this time around is that Weber makes a lot of use of leitmotifs, which I normally like. I like it in Sondheim and Schwartz, and Lin-Manuel Miranda, of course. But in this particular instance, he was basically just cutting and pasting themes that he had used before, like note for note. Like, he reused the theme from Music of the Night. He reused the themes from the All I Ask of You, which are both songs in major, but he was reusing them in really dark moments, but he wasn't changing the tonality. He wasn't even changing the tonality of the music. He wasn't changing it to minor or anything. It was just exactly the same. And it was weird to hear, you know, the Phantom and all these characters singing these themes that are kind of, you know, not really happy, but like, you know, major and relatively upbeat and happy during this really dark moment. It just didn't mesh very well for me. And it's just one of those things where I feel like if just a few more tweaks were made, a few more edits here and there, just a few different things done, this could be a musical that I would really, really enjoy. Like, it would be a musical that I might even list among my favorites, as opposed to one that I just kind of tolerate. I mean, obviously there was something to it that got me to really love it in high school, because I really loved it in high school. So there's something there, but just looking at it now, it's not as much of a phenomenal thing as I thought it was back then.
Hello, Shadow. Do you want pets? You want me to stop talking about Phantom of the Opera and pet you instead?
So, there. Yeah, I figured I'd share my thoughts. I've finally seen Phantom of the Opera, which I hadn't seen before. I've seen it on stage, and love the technical aspects. The story it's okay. And I've now given my computer enough time to boot up and go through all the things that it needs to go through before I can actually work on it, so I'm gonna go to editing now. Okay, now it is time for the German pancake to come out of the oven. Should be fairly poofy at this point. The poof will go away as it cools, but when it first comes out, it should have poofed up a little bit. We are not quite done yet. 2 more ingredients that we have to add to the now cooked German pancake. One of them is lemon juice. Again, enough. The other is powdered sugar. I need to watch the pancake and not the camera monitor, because I just got powdered sugar everywhere. Get it out of the pan, onto the plate. And there is our finished product. And now I am going to eat it, and probably share it with the dog, because she also really likes German pancakes. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this segment of Cooking with Matt Guyan. I don't know if this will be a thing. It's just kind of the first thing that came to mind for me to do today. Sit. Wait. Wait. Okay. And now she might actually eat her breakfast. You Shadow. You wanna go for a walk? You wanna go for a walk? You wanna go for a walk? The mailman's outside, so we have to wait for a little bit. Sit. Shh. Leave it. You're fine. So they're doing some sort of construction or work or something outside my apartment building today, so that's gonna be a delight. You gonna poop? Oh, you're pooping right away. What a good girl. I'm not gonna show you that. So the Arcana scenes that I need to film today are technically supposed to be in the woods right behind my apartment. And that's gonna be a little difficult if there are people working in that area. So I might need to fudge it a little bit. Or possibly just wait until they leave, but I don't know when they're leaving. There are woods kind of all around here, so might be able to get away with using a slightly different location. The stuff I'm going to film today, it's actually not a scene, it's a review, but it's related to a scene that I shot with Jesse of Coded Lock Films when he was down here visiting in October. And I actually meant to get this done a long time ago, but for a variety of reasons, most of them related to weather and NaNoWriMo, I haven't gotten it done yet. So, good girl. So, my plan is to get it done today, so that it's done. And I'd like to get it done relatively quickly because it's December in Ohio, and God only knows when it's going to start snowing. We've got this tennis court on the apartment complex property, which hardly anyone really uses for tennis. So it kind of becomes an informal dog park. It's all fenced in, so I can let Shadow off leash to kind of run around a little bit. Because that is one thing that we are missing in living in an apartment complex is a backyard for her to run around in anytime we take her outside. Unless it's a closed-in area, we have to keep her on leash. And she likes to run. That's actually one of the other changes that will hopefully be occurring in the year 2017. My wife and I are planning on moving over the summer. I won't say where, because, you know, internet is scary. But we are planning on moving to someplace a little bit warmer, a little bit closer to where she grew up, and hopefully maybe actually getting a house. So that we can have a little bit more space. We don't have to share our space with anybody that would cause her to bark at random intervals. And might actually be able to let her outside to run around in the backyard. And now she's found something to bark at. It is kind of another reason I kind of had it in mind to do these daily vlogs, is because I mentioned 2017 was going to be a pivotal year for me personally, and that's one of the reasons. And I think that there's just going to be a lot of major changes in my life and the life of myself and my wife. And I kind of want to document that. I kind of want to see, you know, where that year is going to take us. Hey, you're fine. It's the maintenance guy. She really doesn't like the maintenance guy. She doesn't like the maintenance guy in a single place we've lived. There were too many people for Shadow to bark at, so we had to leave. Shadow hurt her paw about a month ago, and we're pretty sure that she hurt it while running around in that tennis court barking at a lawnmower. We're just running a little bit too rough, and it's kind of scraped the pads a little bit, so trying to get that under control when I take her out there. But one of the things I like about kind of the format of the daily vlog is that you're vlogging no matter what your day is going like. Like if I keep this up, then you will see me at my best, you will see me at my worst. I mean, I'll obviously edit certain things out, but you'll see me when I'm sick, you'll see me when I'm not feeling great, you'll see me when something's got me upset. You won't just see the best edited version of myself because I'm doing this every day. And I do want to try to be as open as possible with things that are going on. Obviously, there are some things that are going to stay private. But one of the things I have found about myself is that I'm really, really bad at keeping a personal journal. I know that is one of those things that would probably help me express myself and be an outlet for emotions and so on. But it's just something I've never really been good at. I've never been able to maintain it. But the closest I ever came to maintaining it is when I was keeping a blog. And I think the reason for that is because people were reading it. I had an audience, and it wasn't just me. So maybe my ego just needs people to actually watch or read or whatever in order for me to have an outlet for my emotions. So we'll give this a try and make it kind of my own personal daily journal, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm starting to wish that I had worn taller socks and gloves. And yeah, I think I'm gonna put the camera away and finish this walk. And now it is about 3:15 in the afternoon. I have not done the outdoor Arcana filming that I had planned on doing mostly because it's just freaking cold outside and I don't want to. So I'm not going to do that today. Might do that tomorrow. The sun's at least supposed to be out. It's also kind of gloomy out, and I'd like to have the lighting be at least reasonably close to when it was when I shot the first bit of stuff outside. I'm coming down with a cold, which is why my voice sounds a little hoarse right now too, so that's fun. But I am going to try to do the rest of the filming that I wanted to do today, and I'm going to start with a scene that involves Reg, Editing Matt, the Mad Hatter, and the voice, the disembodied voice that does audio reviews. I've actually already recorded the voice stuff. I recorded that a while ago, but I'm going to do the other stuff now, and I'm actually going to adjust the white balance first, because that got out of whack when I came in here. Yeah, it's better. The scene's actually pretty simple, so it doesn't involve any of the personas actually interacting with each other in the same room, so they're mostly just listening to the voice talk to them, so they're just sitting and reacting and occasionally saying things back. But I'm going to keep working with this new tripod and try to figure out different ways to use it, because I specifically asked for it because I want to use it. Yeah, that'll work. Come on. Come on. So, did that, and earlier today I worked on my musical project that I'm working on, basically just transcribing full music out at this point. I'm not really creating anything new. I might do that a little bit later in the day. But that's been my day so far. Oh, and I also wrote a little bit for another video that I need to shoot at some point. But yeah, that's been my day. So there it is. And I think at this point I've pretty much exhausted everything that I really care to talk about today. The lighting's going to change again as I walk in here. So yeah, I think we're going to call it good, and I will give you one more little bit of shadow happiness before I go. Look at that dejected puppy. See how nobody loves her? Hey, Shadow. You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? You want to go for a walk? Yeah, she does want to go for a walk. So we're going to go for a walk. And until next time, friends, see you tomorrow. Actually, no. I'll see you Monday. See you Monday.